Welcome to T Prep Talk. We're going to hear my story, and I'm going to tell my guest's story. We're going to restart this again. Ready? One, set, go. Welcome to T Prep Talk. We're going to hear my story. You're going to hear my guest's story. It's going to help make your story. And today we got a bull rider slash ranch hand slash boxer slash painter, man of many trades. Luis Perez, I'll let you introduce yourself after that. Tell a little bit about yourself.
Alrighty. Yeah, my name's Luis Perez. I was born and raised in Texas. Um, born
Yes,
with
sir.
roots from Mexico
Yeah.
with American nationality, but with a deep heart of Texas.
Deep heart of Texas. I love that.
Deep, like they say, deep in the heart of Texas. Definitely
Yeah.
have a heart of Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. So today we had to wear cowboy hats for respect of the state. Now I'm not wearing boots, but that's fine.
I am.
Luis is all fitted out. Two different kinds of Mexicans here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But we're both Mexicans, originated from Mexico, but born in Texas. Are you staring at me like that? Okay, all right. What do you like about Texas?
Just the overall, uh, I guess, attitude and pride that goes into it. It's a pride that not many states share. Um, you don't. It's almost like I heard one time that if you go anywhere in the world, if you're from the states, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm an American,"
Yeah.
or if you're from Mexico, "Oh, I'm from Mexico, I'm Mexican." If you're from Texas, even though you're in a different country, you're like, "I'm from Texas."
Yeah.
They'll know. They'll know what you're talking about right away.
Respected worldwide.
hmm
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so Luis, I want to talk about what you do, man, because you can kind of give more insight on things in the in the country space, because
hmm
you are out there. You got a ranch in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
You got a ranch in
Family ranch.
Mexico. You got horses out there.
We got one horse, but we mainly raise cattle out there.
Okay. So
hmm
have you ever milked a cow?
I've milked a cow once. We don't really. Most of the cattle aren't really dairy cattle. Like
Yeah.
that's more for dairy cattle.
Mhm.
There was one. Like there was a time at a different ranch we had that belonged to like my grandma. We used to
Mm.
keep some cattle there. Um, I got up early one morning to try to learn how to milk cattle, and it's you don't get that much like you would get out of a dairy cow because
Yeah.
there's beef cattle. We raise beef cattle, so
Okay.
that's all for like strictly
Take it to the
meat.
slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So calves to get butchered and everything for the feedlots.
Yeah.
So
So do
um,
does your family have one cow a year that you guys like kind of cut up all the meat for yourselves?
no, we just raise them and sell them calves for the beef.
Yeah.
We haven't really ever butchered our own cattle before. I mean, we've done it in the past, but not of the cattle that my dad owns. We haven't done that
Okay.
just yet.
Okay.
hmm
Nice. And have you ever wrestled a cow?
Wrestled? No. I roped a few calves like when we're we do vaccinations like twice a year,
Yeah.
and so like there've been a couple times where I caught a few calves, but not
Like with an actual rope, like
yeah with an
over
actual rope.
riding a
The-
horse.
no, not riding a horse. I haven't gotten to do that just yet,
Okay.
because you gotta be thinking twice. You can't just rope straight. You gotta dial your rope and everything.
Yeah.
And I haven't quite mastered that yet, so
Okay.
I'm still is eventually gonna be able to do that. But it's been since we're in a tight corral,
Yeah.
don't have to do a lot of running around, so I just rope them on foot
Okay.
and everything.
Yeah, because I signed up a member here who wrestled cows.
Is he like a steer wrestler?
Is that what it's called? Where
Is-
they jump off the horse?
Uh huh.
They jump
Yeah,
off the
that's
horse
what
and
it
grab
is
it.
in rodeo. That's a
That,
lot of bigger guys
that
tend
looks
to do
badass,
that.
man. It
Yeah,
is.
it's hard because cattle are a lot stronger than you think.
Yeah.
You might look at a little calf and you're like, oh, I can take that, but no, you put a rope to him and is a lot. Even maybe the strongest man could pull down the smallest little calf, but like even the strongest man cannot hold down a big old cow, heavy cow,
So
or
there-
bull.
So there's
much
two
less.
different types of cowboys, right? There's like the country cowboys, and then there's like the cowboys who just dress like cowboys, right?
The wannabes.
So you call them wannabes, right?
I guess you could say that. You could look at somebody that you think like, oh, he don't know, but then they might actually surprise you.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
I was listening to Luke Bryan talk, and he said that he takes some of the new country guys out, kind of like to hang out with them, to fill them out, to see who they are. New country artists, right? He says some of them don't even know how to fish.
They don't know how to fish.
They don't know how to fish. They don't know how to do the things that they're singing, but they're singing it because they sounds good. They're making money off this music.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't. Not because I just never really did much fishing in life. But that's just me. Like my dad wakes me up early in the morning, so like I don't ever like everybody goes early in the morning to go hunting, to go fishing.
Yeah.
But he's like, we don't have time for that. We got work to do.
Okay.
So
Straight to
I
business.
never. Yeah, I never really had much experience with fishing or hunting. I definitely would like it. Definitely like to go, but you know, grew up not really. That was never really a pastime in my family.
Yeah, I always liked the country living, man. My granddad did it. He went hunting. He had some horses. He had some livestock. He
Have
had.
you done hunting or fishing?
I haven't. I've been fishing.
Oh, okay.
I've been fishing. I rode a horse, but not too well once. I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
but I used to wear a cowboy hat everywhere I went.
Really?
And then I started to ask myself, well, you're wearing cowboy hats, you're wearing cowboy boots everywhere you go. You're dressing like a cowboy, but you don't have a horse. So I came to realization I can't be dressing like that every day if I do not have a horse.
Mm.
So I stopped wearing cowboy hats since then. So like you said, they're wannabes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even wear camo. I do have a camo jacket that I wear sometimes. But then somebody asked me, "Oh, you go hunting?" When I was wearing camo, and I'm like, "Nah, I don't go hunting."
It's just like the style.
Yeah, I just like the style. So I just feel like, you know what? I'm not wearing any of that until I actually go out and do it.
You gotta have that credibility.
Yeah, that
you feel.
credibility, man. That's like me wearing a tank top and thinking that I'm swole, but I'm not. Like, why are you wearing a tank top? You know?
Yeah, I can't wear a tank top right now. But yeah, I've always worn a cowboy hat since I was 2 years old, and I've never doubted in my mind. Like I've had different phases growing up. I think every kid has like a pirate phase. I think at one point, like I used to like little boats and everything.
You had a pirate face?
I had a little pirate face when I was like three
You had a
years
pirate
old.
face?
Because like I watched the movie Peter Pan, and like Captain Hook and the boats and all that stuff. I always thought that was cool, but that was like one time deal. I have superhero phases. You know that you had superheroes.
I had a
that you
superhero face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who was your superhero?
Mine was Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was a
Mine
big Hulk
was Batman, Spider-Man, kind of the basic two. I don't know if you want to count Venom. I know we got the Venom thing going on with the Venom gloves and the Venom poster.
Yeah.
But
as I got older, I started liking Venom.
yeah, me too. I'd say that.
It was the movies with Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got me into Venom.
Right. I still like the. I know people hate on the Topher Grace Venom, but I don't know. It still has a place in my heart because it was the
one
first Venom.
on Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I know he's only there for like 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
still, it's still kind of it was cool seeing Venom the first time.
He was only there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's like only appears at the end.
I thought that was a whole episode where like the Venom.
I mean, he's got the black suit. Spider-Man's got the black suit throughout.
Yeah, that goo was following around,
The
jumping.
symbiote. He's on him for
The symbiote. That's what
yeah.
it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay.
He's on there for like this is my inner nerd coming out, the superhero phase coming out. He's on it like for most of the movie, but then towards the end when he takes it off, jumps onto Eddie Brock, and then you see Venom towards the end.
Yeah.
Didn't do him a whole lot of justice, but it was cool seeing Venom the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite Spider-Mans there, and the one with the guy that looked like a crab. No, the guy looked like a crab. He had like the robot legs.
Oh, Doc Ock. Yeah.
Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus, yeah.
I got you.
That was a good one too.
That movie was such a big deal when I was a kid. Like 2004, that year. Like, it was so many good movies, like, growing up that came out that year. And I remember it was just such a big deal. I got that movie for Christmas that year. And You want to hear a cool story that actually kind of ties into the art, where that has to do with Spider-Man,
What is
the
it?
Spider movie. I was in kindergarten when that movie came out,
Yeah.
and I remember then Christmas 2004, we get the movie for Christmas. I watch it. There's a scene where Doc Ock is fighting Spider-Man in the bank.
Yeah.
Doc Ock with the tentacles throws these money bags to kind of try to throw off Spider-Man. And I started drawing that, believe it or not, in kindergarten. I drew it, and um, my teacher saw it, and she's like, "Oh, that's really cool." But I only drew it in pencil. I hadn't colored it yet. She's like, "Don't color it just yet. Hang on." She went to the other room, made copies of it, and then shared it in the class. And people had like, it was like a coloring page for everybody.
Yeah.
But I guess to her, it looked good enough to where everybody could color it in.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like where my early art started to kind of shine a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Started
So
with superheroes.
so how do you draw? Do you imagine it in your head first and
I kind of do imagine it. It's kind of evolved my,
okay.
I guess my skills. I don't really consider myself skilled. Like I can't do like better art than some. Like there's people who do art way better than I do, but then I can still do at least like nicer than, I guess you could say, the average person.
Like
But
me? Yeah. I can't
but
draw.
I mean, I don't see it as like, I know some people are like, oh, when they do art, it's like expressing themselves. Like I don't express myself. I just do it to pass the time. Like people read. That's what I do when I draw. Like I just like, I'm bored. I want to. That looks really nice. I want to draw it.
Okay.
That's how I feel. Um, and but I don't really. I just noticed a lot of details like as I grew older.
Yeah.
So like when I was little, I just knew like, okay, I could draw this, but then I'm like, I just drew a cowboy on a bull
Yeah.
or on a horse. But then as I grew older, I'm like, well, okay, he's on a bull, but he's got to have a bull rope.
Yeah.
He's got to have one hand. Okay, draw the. Okay, but he's got a glove. He's wearing a glove when he wears it. And then you proceed. Okay, he's got chaps.
Yeah.
He's got boots. On those boots, he's got his spurs.
Okay. So
He's
paying
got a hat.
attention to
Yeah,
detail.
the detail. The
Yeah.
detail increased as I got older.
Okay. Nice.
Hmm
So you do your research, or you actually go and live it before you draw it.
I observe it. I observe it,
Yeah.
and every little observation I make, I apply it to the drawings.
Okay. Because you do bull ride, right?
Yeah,
Okay. How's that going?
I haven't done it in a while.
Okay.
I've been just on practice bulls
It's
mainly.
probably a good adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the closest right now. The closest I can think of is like boxing, like
Yeah.
sparring kind of, but definitely a lot more dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
Okay. Nice.
It's like Mike Tyson said, you can have a game plan, but then once you're in there, it all goes out the window.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I have a guy here, and he does jujitsu, and he's like a blue belt.
Oh,
Well, he was like climbing up the ranks, and he was training months for this one event. And when the event came, he said as soon as he stepped in front of his opponent, they shook hands, and as soon as the ref said, "All right, go," he said he went mind blank. He forgot everything he's trained for years, and just like shot for a takedown and got choked out.
oh really?
Like all those years of training, just for you to go mind blank on the moment, and then
Yeah,
lose.
cause, I mean, I wonder if he ever like sparred like with, I don't know, in jujitsu if there is type of thing like sparring,
Yeah,
like
yeah. He said he
practicing.
sparred, but it was like the crowd, it was the ref, it was the pressure of all the
Really?
years of training, and
Yeah, the pressure does build up a lot.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just kind of like you imagine it all the time, but till you get in there, it's not. There's nothing like the real deal. You get used to it by doing it.
that's true, man. That's true.
hmm
It's a different ball game whenever the cards are on the line,
Uh huh.
right?
Yeah.
So, hmm, what else do you like about bull riding? Like, because you also follow it as a fan.
Yeah, I've been a fan since I was like 4 years old. I used to, cause my dad and my parents, they bought me tapes of like Mexican rodeo.
Yeah,
Um, it's the ones where they wear big sombreros, la charreria, they
yeah,
call it. And so they do like trick roping, and they had bull riding in there too, but it was kind of a little bit more simple. I don't want to say it's safer because it's not really safe, but it was a little bit more simple. they wouldn't ride as crazy bulls or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of more based on their score on like elegance and stuff. And then my dad bought me a tape of American rodeo. And then
Yeah.
I saw the first thing that popped up was bull riding, American bull riding. I was like, that looks awesome. I want to watch
Okay,
that
so
more.
bull riding originated in America.
Bull riding is it's been a lot of stuff like through history, like with bulls. Like I mean, you got bullfighting, and then you got basically like rodeo in the really old days.
Yeah.
Like I guess late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
Basically, they would do is they would break horses. You know, break horses to use for work and everything. Well, some horses were a lot harder to break. You
Yeah.
know, some horses were a lot more wilder. So ranchers would just do they just get their wagons, go out in a field, set them around,
Yeah.
to get some wild horses that haven't been broken yet, and they get some guys to compete to break them, and then bet money on it, and then winner takes all.
Wow.
And that's just kind of how it evolved, and then eventually they started building chutes, where they can just instead of having to catch the animal, tie him up and then jump on him, they can already have him somewhere and then just slowly get on him and then tie the rope.
So
on him.
can you break a bull?
It can actually be done. I've seen some people like
Civilize a bull?
yeah, some people like I mean you got like show cattle that
Yeah.
you present at stock shows, but then
Yep.
you also I've seen a couple people like actually break a bull like to be ridden like with a saddle and everything, and I don't know.
That's some real shit.
Yeah,
Breaking
but
bulls.
it's like a real domesticated bull. I don't know how they do it, but I don't know if it's the same way they do with horses, but it's a little bit
Just
different.
gotta
I
beat
think.
it.
I don't know. I don't know if they do.
Little whip or something on it. Like they.
It depends. I know like some horses when you break them you do whip, but that's only like if they're acting up.
Yeah.
But like if they're because horses will bite if they're mean enough, wild enough, they'll
Yeah.
bite. Might not. I know it's a herbivore, animal that just eats grass all day, but
Yeah.
yeah, they can still bite.
Yeah. You ever been attacked by a bull?
No, never been attacked by a bull. Um,
You ever been attacked by a horse?
no, not by a horse either. Haven't I've seen?
What about a chicken?
Yeah, when I was little, when I was 7, I got attacked by a chicken.
They're feisty, man.
Yeah, I
I
was
got-
7. I panicked.
I got attacked by a chicken. It was a mama chicken, man.
Yeah, that's why a hen, mama hen.
Yeah, I was over there getting the eggs, right? And
Really?
she didn't like that.
Yeah,
And-
no,
But I was getting the eggs, to eat.
nobody messes with mama's babies.
Yeah, she went crazy on me, man. And I was just sitting there just like kicking. Like, yo, get off of me.
I was
Uh,
at my grandma's
bro.
back corral, and there was just one hen. She had her chicks already. They were
Yeah.
following her. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I got too close, and she saw me and came after me.
Yeah, man. I think they're a little smarter than what we think, but not too smart because, man, it was like it was one hot Texas summer, right? Like
Mhm.
100 degrees plus. And my job was to make sure they have water and keep them in the shade, right? Have a safe spot for them because the heat.
Yeah.
But they didn't like me. They didn't trust me. So I would give them water, but they weren't taking it. So a lot of them died because they refused to drink the water I give them.
They were afraid to go where you'd stepped.
Yeah.
I guess they're like, I don't know, he did something there.
Yeah, he did
Some
something.
some animals are like they
We don't
see you
trust
walk in
this
a certain
guy.
area, they stay away. You think it's weird. Animals are smarter than you think sometimes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
man?
We had one of our calves was born blind. I posted about it on my Instagram one time, and we gave him to my cousin, and they
Yeah.
raised him, and they fed him. They had him in a little pen, but they
Yeah.
fed him by hand every day, and it got to the point where they could call him and pet him, and he was all gentle. Even though he couldn't see, he could recognize them by their
Yeah.
voice and by their smell. Well, I went to visit, and I tried to approach him. I saw him when he was a little calf, but I hadn't seen him till he got bigger.
Yeah.
And I approached him, and even though he couldn't see me, he'd actually like flinch, like he wouldn't approach me.
Yeah.
And I was like, he can smell me, he doesn't recognize me. And I thought like that's strange, like people don't do that, but like animals, they're like this is different scent, or this is somebody else. I don't know
Yeah.
who this is.
Now,
It's
now, now,
strange.
what do you like about the country living?
It's just more wholesome. It's more I guess more like
Simple.
simple. I guess growing up, I always saw like movies of cowboys and on horses in the
Yeah.
land, and I just like, man, I want that environment so bad.
Mm.
Like I like you get tired of seeing buildings and cars all the time.
Yeah.
When you see like a fence and you see cattle and you ride a horse near them, it's a it's a calming feeling. It's not it's both a proud but at the same time a wholesome feeling.
Yeah. A wholesome feeling. What do you mean wholesome feeling?
It's just a very organic type of setting. It's not no technology, no everything is like natural
Yeah. I mean,
about the setting.
Jesus grew up on a ranch. He had horses.
Hmm
Yeah. What else?
Complete opposite.
Yeah, yeah. Man, he didn't catch that like you did. He wanted a different lifestyle. So I think it's ingrained in your blood.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my dad worked on the ranch and my grandpa, like I guess you could say I'm four generation rancher because I know my great grandpa had cattle too.
Yeah.
So I know like it's definitely in my system, and it's not going away anytime soon.
Okay, got it, man. Well, what's your goals?
Goals, I mean, eventually like raise a family, have kids,
Yeah.
have a ranch, have some cattle, have them teach them how to work a ranch.
Okay.
Kind of the simple
So you-
Texas life.
Simple Texas life.
Mm-hmm.
So you want a traditional life.
Yeah,
Okay. So that means you want a traditional woman
yeah, I guess you could say
or
that.
partner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what does that look like?
I don't know, just waiting.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
We're getting
I'm
into the
joking.
fields now.
No, yeah. But yeah, man, you've been lifting. You also do tree work, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And,
that's the main work I do with my dad.
Yeah.
Full time.
And how do you like cutting trees, man? It's a dangerous job. A lot
Yeah,
of
it's
people die.
dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Just stay away or stick with what you know. My dad's the one that cuts the trees. He trims and cuts. I just chip up the brush, clean up. Sometimes I'm on standby, and but yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, like my dad's got years of training, so he knows like how to cut precisely. Because you can think, oh yeah, just cut that tree down and let it fall, but it might fall on the house, or it might fall in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Might fall on you, and I've seen people cut a tree, and they think they're good at cutting it, and then it raises up. Well, it's not even fully cut yet, and it hits them just with the trunk itself.
Yeah.
There's so many fails on YouTube. Like that scares me more than any horror movie in the movies nowadays. Like any scary movie,
Yeah.
they don't scare me, but seeing
Don't
people
scare
screw up on
Yeah.
tree cutting jobs, that scares me.
you. Yeah, man. So like real life stuff.
Yeah, real life stuff.
Real life or death.
Real property
situation.
damage, real bodily damage.
Oh, you're thinking about legal.
well, both
stuff,
legal
too.
and also like somebody can get hurt.
No, yeah, man. I knew a guy, and he had somebody cut a tree down for him, and it was a company. But the owner of the house, which was my friend, he was telling the guy who was cutting the tree, "Yo, I think we should cut it this way because if it falls over there, it can hit the house, and we don't want that or hit that power line." And the guy who owned the company of cutting trees said, "Man, this is what I do. This is my profession. Don't tell me how to do my job, right?"
Yeah.
And then so he cut it and then my friend said, "All right, you know what? You do it the way you want to do it."
Mm-hmm.
And then he cut the tree, hit the power line, house caught on fire. He lost his house.
Oh,
He had his grandma in there, right?
uh-huh.
So he had to run up there and get his grandma. But he also had his motorcycle in the garage. Then I asked him, "Which one did you get first?" And he got his motorcycle first.
Well,
And
what?
then- yeah, he pulled his motorcycle out. Then went to go get his grandma.
Then when
Uh,
it was grandma,
yeah.
he did get his grandma out though, right?
He got his grandma.
Okay.
Out. She's alive and well. Yes, they got a
Okay.
new house. But long story short,
Oh man,
what
must have
would
put
you
a
do?
lot of money into the motorcycle for him to have gone to get it first. I mean, I don't think that should be the priority. I think
Yeah.
human life should be a priority, but like I don't know, there must be something with that motorcycle for him to get it first.
Yeah. Got it, man. See, I wanted to bring you on because I know you live in a different type of lifestyle than most people. Not most people, but in other states, of course. But Texas has a good balance of like three different styles of living. You got the city, you got
Mm-hmm.
the country, you got the suburbs. Then you also got the beach life down there in
Uh
Galveston
huh.
and Corpus Christi. Um, and there's a lot of different cultures in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Definitely.
but the original culture in Texas is the cowboy way of living,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Um, and what do you think about Southern food? Do you like Southern food?
Yeah, I'd say Southern food.
Would you say Southern food is similar to
It's
like
similar to Mexican
yeah
food in
Mexican
a
food?
way. Yeah, because I mean, the only thing separating it is the border, but both eat beans, both eat corn.
Yeah,
Um, the only thing Mexico has is tortillas,
yeah,
but we just
signature. Yeah.
signature.
So you've been to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been confronted by the cartel?
No, I have never. Not that I've heard stories of people I know
Yeah,
confronting them, but that it's kind of like here. I think media makes it a little bit exaggerates a little bit. Think that's all that goes on out there. It's not.
so
It's
Mexico's safe.
Mexico. It's got some parts that are more dangerous. Kind of like here in the states. You won't. Chicago's more dangerous than Chicago, Illinois is more dangerous than you know. I mean, Dallas got its dangerous parts too,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit more dangerous in Chicago.
Adrian said he was out there in Mexico and he had an expensive camera. He was a part of Mexico that
Yeah,
wasn't
what?
there. He was out there in Mexico and had an expensive camera,
Uh huh.
um, and he was being eyeballed. What do you think
Maybe,
about that?
maybe, maybe not a cartel, but definitely somebody could have just like snatched it. There's people who do that. They see you like carrying a lot of stuff. They might just mug you, but that doesn't. It's
Yeah,
not a cartel.
they'll just mug you,
It's
but
just
that's it,
general
man.
mugging.
They'll
Uh
just
huh.
steal your stuff. So when you, also,
It's like Europe, Like
yeah,
there's people out there who like snatch your wallet
with a
while
knife.
you're
Yeah.
still going.
There's people who
Yeah,
pickpocket the same. Same here.
Same here, but it's more common like outside of the states.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. I
yeah. I had a
guess.
guy drive his truck down there to Mexico,
Uh huh.
and he got it stolen from him.
It could depend also if he has like USA license plates. They
Yeah.
might say like, "Hey, this guy is coming from the states. He's got some money on him."
Yeah, I heard you got to put a stamp on your vehicle when you go to Mexico.
I think
And
so. You
and
got to get certain permits.
yeah,
It's
so
a hassle sometimes.
they know that the car is being tracked.
Well, I don't know about track, but it's definitely like, I know you got to get like a permit to bring it in. So they say like your car is here for visiting. You're not selling it, and if you do sell it, you might have to get a permit. Okay, because if you start selling cars out there often, you might have to pay something, or you
Yeah.
might have to get a
The
certain
government
permit.
wants their share of the pie.
Exactly. So you just put there, is this for home use? Are you visiting?
Yeah.
Are you gonna sell it?
And what do you think about the food compared to Mexico? The food compared to the Mexican food in Mexico compared to the Mexican food in Texas.
Okay, yeah, that I can go off on that so much. Mexican food in Mexico definitely better. You can make There's some foods here you can make with the same ingredients. It still doesn't taste as good as it does in Mexico. There's some places that are pretty good. Little Elm, there's a meat market called El Tapatio.
Yeah.
They actually
I feel like that's corporate though. Like
feel like it's
Azteca,
corporate.
Tapatio.
It is a little bit, but I mean it's ran by Mexican families. El Azteca's got
Yeah.
that marinated fajita. That's
Yeah.
really good. I talked to my dad about it. He thinks that's the only like good, I guess, best quality meat they got out there that they got. El Tapatio's got the pork, las carnitas.
Yeah.
My dad actually, me and my dad got talking. Like we might actually think it might be better than in Mexico. Just that, which is really rare to find. It's
What do
really
you
hard
think?
to find some places.
I mean, there's the pros and cons.
Okay.
There's the pros and cons. Portion-wise, over there in Mexico is a lot smaller than over here in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it
Yeah,
is.
sometimes. But like, that's what I've noticed when I was eating there in Mexico.
You were down there for a whole month, man.
Yeah, here lately. I didn't think I was gonna stay a month, but ended up.
And so was New Year's a party down there too?
New Year's we were gonna try to go to the city. Like, I mean, we don't party as much as we usually do anymore. But we're gonna try to go to the city, but um, we had some stuff come up at the ranch, so that kind of kept us from going out of
Yeah.
town. But we just stayed there. A few family came over. Here's the thing, though, and I don't like this, but uh, people in Mexico once New Year's, the customary conservative thing, and maybe you do it here. You hug everybody and you shake hands, say Happy New Year. We made it
Yeah.
to another year. But outside, some crazy people like to do this. They grab their guns and just to start shooting in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a crime thing. It's just people going crazy.
Do you
getting
believe
drunk.
in when you shoot that gun up in the sky, the bullet is eventually going to come down and it can
There's
kill
lost
somebody?
bullets. There's have been people that died. I don't know if
Just randomly walking down the street, bam.
there's a lost bullet. Yeah, that happens here too. It's just anywhere.
Yeah, bro.
Like people shoot that lost bullet.
In the Middle East, that happens a lot.
Middle East.
Yeah, 'cause in weddings they shoot.
Oh, in weddings they shoot. In Mexico they just shoot on New Year's.
Yeah.
I think that's become a new thing though, because nobody in my family ever does that. But
It's been done.
it's been probably been done for a while now. But
It's
but-
just not common.
yeah, it's not common. My family is like old school, so I never heard anybody do that.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
same thing with my family too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we definitely need to see the different sides of Texas. Texas is such a great state, man. It's such a great state. I mean, I got a lot of pride in Texas, which is why I got a metal Texas thing over there. The gym logo is a longhorn.
I painted the Texas on there too.
You paid in Texas, and then I only like to work with Texas brands.
Yeah.
And I seriously don't dislike whenever I see like California brands in Texas and people are like representing it and never been to California too. Some people never been to California, not even born in California, like New York. People wearing the Yankee stuff down here. I'm like, why?
Yanks.
Like, why are
Yankees.
you not proud of Texas? And I think it's the media and pop culture that like pushes these other states, but Texas isn't very popular in pop culture. But recently, Houston has been getting a lot of attention lately. Big X, you listen to rap? You listen to
No.
rap? Nah. He's straight rancheros. Right?
Yeah.
So, but like recently, a lot of rappers down here has been bringing the Texas movement up. So yeah, I think Texas is on the rise. I think Texas will be the new,
A lot of rappers representing from Texas. You mean?
yeah. But I think Texas will be a place that everybody wants to go to here soon. I mean, in the gym space, there's so many different. We travel to different gyms and go work out there to get the feel of these new modern gyms, and there's just so many out here in Houston, especially. There's a lot. Houston, Austin, and Dallas, like the big triangle. That's all. But like the rest of Texas, I don't really know what's going on out there.
It's a little bit more West Texas. You go, it's a little bit more dry, a
Yeah.
little bit more less populated. I've never been to El Paso yet. I would say
West Texas is like, I feel like it's more country.
it's definitely more country. I mean, you got almost all country here in Texas, but out there is more like dry.
More dry. Like,
Uh huh.
people are more gentle. Like they're like open doors.
Southern hospitality.
Yeah, it's definitely more like Southern hospitality culture, more rural culture.
But
out
what makes
there.
something country? Is that just there's nothing going on?
No, it's just
Very calm, very
being
slow?
out in a very rural area, less populated, more Southern hospitality. That's what I see it. I don't necessarily have to be like middle of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Everybody knows each other.
Yeah, small
Yeah.
town vibes.
Small town vibes.
I grew up in a small town school, so
Me too.
yeah,
Yeah, you're in Crum, you're in Tioga.
in Tioga.
Crum
yeah.
is a little bigger than.
Crum's a bit bigger than Tioga.
I think it's a little bigger than Pilot Point too.
It could be, or it might be the same range
Around
as
the same
Pilot
range.
Point. Pilot
This-
Point might be bigger now.
The square is more developed out here than the one in Crum and Ponder.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
I've been to Crumb and Ponder several times, and it's like I feel like maybe Pilot Points is a little bit bigger, but I feel like there's more people walking around in Ponders or in Crumbs,
yeah.
yeah, than Pilot. It's just I don't know. It's just my observation. Maybe I
Okay.
just go at the wrong times.
Yeah.
I mean, like Crum, they have special events that happen in their square kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, they do parades.
Parades.
Yeah, they got. I think I've heard of some parades.
But normally people don't just be chilling at the square.
Yeah, no. Back then they used to do that because
I
there
mean,
wasn't as much to do back then.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, um,
Have 5 more minutes?
we got 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
Well, yeah. Well, this was our introduction to Luis Perez. He'll be on the podcast a little more. I wanted to give you guys insight of the country life and the way of living, and more insight on Mexico. Is there anything else that you would like to share about Mexico and Texas? Is there similarities in both?
I think just the pride and the food definitely. The barbecue here in Texas is definitely brisket. It's definitely different here than it is in other states.
Is barbecue really as big as people say it is out here?
I think so, cause like to me, I love brisket.
Yeah.
Like, brisket, the smoked brisket, sliced brisket, grilled brisket, or
Yeah.
however. There's really a lot of pride in the cooking here in Texas and the foods and stuff. Just like in Mexico, I definitely would say.
Do you go hunting?
Nah, I haven't. I mean, I would definitely love to, but I've never had time or never really knew anybody to take me hunting. So,
Okay.
but I'd definitely be into it.
Yeah.
I really would want to go hunting and then cook whatever we hunted. You know what I mean?
You like shooting guns?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the podcast here with Luis. You'll see him on again. And thank you guys for tuning in. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hasta luego.